Hi guys, welcome to Hope with Jonathan podcast. And on this podcast, we will share the patient's personal story with battling kidney disease, dialysis, transplant, and more. Guys, we'll also share stories of hope and encouragement for those that are in need of a living kidney donor. We will also advocate for them, a living donor, to step forward to give them the miracle gift of life of transplant. Guys, based upon my personal near-death experience with kidney disease, I started this streaming show called Hope with Jonathan, and also this podcast, Hope with Jonathan Podcast. Guys, if you want to hear more stories like this, please stay tuned. Hope with Jonathan podcast is a Hope Media production. Never let hope become a memory. Hope with Jonathan podcast is a Hope Media production. Hope with Jonathan podcast is in collaboration with Impact America Media, where we give hope to patients to continue on, stay motivated, inspire, and encourage them to continue in the journey. For more information on Impact America Media, please visit impactamericamedia.com. Again, Hope with Jonathan podcast is in collaboration with Impact America Media. Hey guys, this is Jonathan, the host of the Hope with Jonathan podcast. And hey guys, Hope with Jonathan now has a website, www.hopewithjonathan.com, where you can go over and find out where to follow us on all of our social media links, our podcast, our YouTube channel, and much more. Again, guys, for more information on Hope with Jonathan, you can go to www.hopewithjonathan.com.
You need to watch what you're doing. It's going to get worse if you don't be careful. 6 months later, I went back to the nephrologist and my kidney function was at 20%. And then I went back 3 months later and it was at 15%. And it was just rapidly dropping, quick. He, at that point, wanted to start me on dialysis, made me pick a dialysis center, get my fistula put in. I have that in and ready to go. I begged him not to make me do it because I wasn't ready. I was at that point also using a cane. My feet were just totally giving on me with the neuropathy and the leg cramps, but I was using a cane. I was obese. I was just not in the best of health and rapidly declining.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hope with Jonathan podcast, and I'm your host, Jonathan Trailer. Hey guys, on this week episode of Hope with Jonathan podcast, we had Lucille Reyes Salazar. And Lucy has an amazing story with battling kidney disease and being a kidney warrior. Guys, for more information, you can definitely go check out her Facebook page at Lucy's Kidney Search. Again, guys, that's Lucy's Kidney Search over on Facebook. There'll be a detailed message over there, a detailed information. There's a website over there for a link. Also, anything that you need if you were interested in becoming a potential donor for her, you can definitely reach out to her over there on Facebook at Lucy's Kidney Search. Again, guys, I really, really appreciate all of the feedback, love, and support for the Hope with Jonathan Live, Hope with Jonathan podcast. It's been an amazing journey by sharing these kidney warrior stories by way of podcasting. Definitely an honor to share these kidney warrior stories for sure. I enjoy doing this and do it from the bottom of my heart in hopes that somebody out there, just someone out there that would possibly come across these warrior stories that possibly want to step up and be a living kidney donor superhero. One of the main reasons why that I do this as well is because I'm also a kidney transplant recipient who has a history with battling kidney disease. And I definitely can sympathize with some of these warrior stories that have experienced a lot of the same things that I've went through. So as you can tell, that's probably my main motivation, is to help others in need based upon my near-death experience and some of my other experiences that I've had with kidney disease. That's one of the real main reasons why I do these shows. But again, guys, really appreciate all the feedback, support. You can go over to our YouTube channel at Hope with Jonathan. And please, guys, like, follow, subscribe. It would help me so much if you would go over and do that for me. We do the live show, and that's where we broadcast. The live broadcast are over there on our YouTube channel, also onto our Facebook channel. So it would mean a lot to me if you would support us by going over there and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Also, guys, if you're listening to this podcast, then you found it on your favorite streaming network, there wherever you want to stream your podcasting from. But I want to let you guys know that we are available also over on YouTube. You can also enjoy our podcast over there on our YouTube channel as well. So as soon as these upload to all the different streaming platforms, they also upload over there as an audio video, which really, there's really no video with it, but you can definitely listen and enjoy. But hey, guys, again, I really want you to enjoy this message of hope for Lucille Reyes Salazar. Again, guys, you can go over and check out her Facebook page at Lucy's Kidney Search. And guys, again, I'm going to let you guys roll into this podcast, this live interview, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. All right. God bless you. Again, guys, you can go over and check out our website at www.hopewithjonathan.com. We've got a little of everything over there. Some of the stories on there, some blogs that I've written as well that take you over to kidneytrails.com. Also, you can find different people that are sponsors of us. Impact America Media, kidneytrails.com, and also KWM, Kidney Warrior merch. You can check them out as well. Also, guys, you can go over and actually listen to the podcast over there right from the website at www.hopewithjonathan.com. Hey, again, I'm going to let you guys roll into this. God bless you. Stay safe out there. And remember to love on somebody today. It's free, guys. And remember to take care of your kidneys. God bless you. This is Jonathan. Hey guys, welcome to Hope with Jonathan podcast. Thanks for all the support for the podcast. Also for Hope with Jonathan. Definitely appreciate it. If you're interested in helping out and supporting what we're doing with Hope with Jonathan and the Hope with Jonathan podcast, you can definitely do so by clicking on the listener support. Also, you can find us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're also on YouTube, and you can find us also on TikTok. All you have to do is type in Hope with Jonathan, and you can find Hope with Jonathan podcast. You can find us on almost all platforms, mainly on Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We're on some others, but feel free to find us on any platform that you can. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in and listening to Hope with Jonathan. Appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Be strong.
Hey guys, welcome to Hope with Jonathan. I'm your host, Jonathan Traylor, and this is another great episode of Hope with Jonathan. We have a very, very special guest, Lucy Reyes Salazar from the New Mexico area. And Lucy has a great story that she wants to come on and share with us tonight. So please, guys, if you would, please share this on your page, group with your friends. Anywhere that you guys have social media, please go ahead and get this out there to the masses. We'd really appreciate it. Again, I'd like to thank all of the support for Hope with Jonathan and what we're doing with Hope with Jonathan, sharing these warrior stories. Really appreciate it. And guys, we're going to go ahead and bring on our very special guest tonight. And I hope you guys, again, will please get this out there and share this story with all of your friends, please. But let's welcome Miss Lucy Reyes Salazar. Hi, Lucy. How are you?
Hi, Jonathan. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I can't hear you for some reason. Are you muted? Did you possibly mute it? Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't. It's
Okay.
not muted. Can you hear me?
Try to. I'll remove you from it and then come back in.
Okay.
Okay. Just try to come back in. I'll remove you. Okay, guys, sorry about that. We're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties, but we'll get Lucy right back in here as soon as possible. But guys, again, I appreciate all the support with Hope with Jonathan. Sometimes these things happen. We have some technical difficulties, whether it's with audio or internet connections, things like that. But we'll definitely get this warrior story out to you as soon as possible. Apologize for all the technical difficulties. Like I said, sometimes it happens. But hey, guys, as soon as we can, we'll get her back on. Again, guys, I want to mention to you that we have a podcast as well, Hope with Jonathan podcast. It's an audio version of these live stream interviews. Also, you can catch these live stream interviews over on YouTube at Hope with Jonathan. And here's Lucy right here. So let's bring her back on. Hey, Lucy, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm not sure what that was all about, but thank you for having me,
It,
Jonathan.
no problem, no problem. It happens. It happens from time to time. We have little glitches here and there, but it's okay. But well, I really appreciate you coming on and doing Hope with Jonathan show with me and sharing your story. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Lucy Reyes Salazar. I am from northern New Mexico, up by the Taos area. I originally from a little small town called Penasco. I have been in the Albuquerque area now about 25 years or so. So I currently live on the outskirts of Albuquerque in a suburb town called Rio Rancho, New Mexico. I just had a birthday Saturday, so I'm 48 years old now.
Well, happy birthday to you. And I think I caught you on social media and maybe wished you a happy birthday on Facebook.
Thank you. I think you did.
Yeah, you and my wife are about the same age. She's 49, so she's actually a leap year baby. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I tease everybody all the time. I'm married to a 12-year-old, but not really, not really. But anyway, she probably feels like that sometimes with me because I'm pretty I'm like her third kid, so so to speak.
Hey, all husbands are like that.
Yeah. But hey, Lucy, I wanted to bring you on Hope with Jonathan and let you come on and share your story. And so I'm going to let you kind of tell everybody out there a little bit about yourself and about your story with battling kidney disease.
Okay. So I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 2010. They told me that I had kidney disease also, but that my kidney function at that point back in 2010 was probably about 35%, I believe, maybe 38, something like that. It wasn't extremely bad, but it wasn't great. I was young. I didn't take it seriously, I guess you could say. I didn't take care of my diabetes. I didn't take care of the kidney failure. I still did what I wanted. I took the medication they told me to take, but that was about the only thing that I did do. Everything progressed really rapidly. I have a number of medical issues, had so many surgeries. It seems like it's one thing after another. Starting with way back when I was 10 years old, I had to have my appendix removed. That was probably the first thing. I tease everybody and say I was made at 5 o'clock on a Friday, and God pushed me out the door to push me down the clouds to get me here when I wasn't fully complete. But it's just a little inside joke we have. But it's just I've dealt with many numerous of issues and medical conditions. So with the kidney disease, I also had really bad diverticulitis where I was constantly ill and I was constantly in the hospital. 2014, I spent probably majority of that year in the hospital. I would be in the hospital for a week or two. Then I would go home for a week or two. Then I would go to work for a week or two. And then I was back in the hospital again. Finally, in 2015, well, they kept telling me that I needed to have, I forget what the name of the surgery is, but they removed part of my small intestines and part of my colon to remove where the diverticulitis was. At that point, they told me I needed the surgery, but I needed to get my A1C under control before I could have the surgery. So that's when I really started to focus more on getting my diabetes under control, getting my A1C under control, just trying to get things better. So I got my A1C down. I had the surgery for that. Then the kidney disease after that just seemed to really just take off. Everything happened really quickly. Before I knew it, my kidney function was down to 20%. It seemed like I went to my nephrologist, and he's like, your kidney functions at 30%. You need to watch what you're doing. It's going to get worse if you don't be careful. To 6 months later, I went back to the nephrologist and my kidney function was at 20%. And then I went back 3 months later and it was at 15%. And it was just rapidly dropping, quick. He, at that point, wanted to start me on dialysis, made me pick a dialysis center, get my fistula put in. I have that in and ready to go. I begged him not to make me do it because I wasn't ready. I was at that point also using a cane. My feet were just totally giving out on me with the neuropathy and the leg cramps, but I was using a cane. I was obese. I was just not in the best of health and rapidly declining. They really wanted me to start dialysis and I begged them not to make me. So I told him to give me 3 months and let me try to get everything in order and see how it goes. And he gave me those 3 months, gave me his cell phone number as well, and told me the second you start feeling bad, you need to call me and you're going to start dialysis. If it's on a weekend, it's hours, you call me, and gave me his cell phone number. So at that point is when I really decided I needed to turn my life around. My daughter came to me and told me that she was pregnant. So I was having a new grandbaby. And I went from, I was really depressed at that point. I mean, I worked from the time that I was 14 years old to in 2015, the doctors finally told me, you can't work no more. You're going to have to stop working and go on disability. You cannot do this no more. So I went into a really bad depression at that point. And then they wanted to start me on dialysis. And to me, I looked at it like a death sentence. I mean, in my eyes, I was dying. And when I found out I was having a grandbaby, I'm like, I need to turn my life around. I need to fix what's wrong because I need to be here to see my grandchild. I need to be here for my children. I need to be there for my daughter when she gives birth. I need to be there to see my kids go to school, to see them graduate high school. Like, I want to see all of that. I want to be there for all her milestones. So I completely turned everything around. I started diet and exercise. I changed my eating habits completely. Within, that was January of 2019, I believe. And then January 2019, they told me that my kidney function was at 14 or 15%, and he wanted me to start dialysis. July of 2019, my kidney function dropped all the way down to 6%. And he's like, you need to start dialysis now. And I said, no, I'm not ready. I can do this. With diet, exercise, just changing my eating habits, changing my lifestyle, I have lost 72 pounds.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I have gotten my kidney function from 6% to 18%.
Wow.
It's just like a complete flip. But I wish that I would have realized this sooner in my life. I wish I would have realized this when they told me your kidney function is at 30%. And I probably wouldn't, excuse me, my allergies are so bad. I feel like I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't be so close to needing dialysis or a transplant if I would have listened sooner. But I mean, you live and you learn, but I tell my kids constantly, be careful, watch what you eat, watch what you drink, exercise. You need to exercise more. And I'm, making sure they're up to date on their appointments, and they get checked for everything, and making sure they're not diabetic. I haven't been on any diabetic medication or any insulin since September of 2019.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. September of 2019 was my last insulin, my last medication. She took me off of everything then. I was taking probably about 12 or 13 different medications, and I got off of everything except for the gabapentin, because the nerve damage is done on my feet. That's a forever thing now. I just have to learn to live with it and deal with it. So
yeah.
The gabapentin, the sodium bicarbonate that the kidney doctor has me take, iron. I do take an iron pill every day, and I take my vitamin D every 2 weeks, and that's pretty much it. Everything that I'm on now, and that's it. They did start me again on a very low dose of, I believe it's called hydralazine for anxiety.
Okay.
Because like recently, my anxiety, just with everything, I think with the whole thing, just hearing you are in kidney failure, you're in organ failure, you need a transplant to survive, basically, or dialysis.
Yeah.
That alone is so hard on a person's mental aspect of accepting that. It took me a long time to accept it. On top of COVID, on top of getting on the transplant list, trying to find a donor, all of that alone, the exercise helps, but add COVID into the mix, and my anxiety just started coming back really bad. So my primary care, put me on a very low dose of that, and I only take it as needed. I don't take it on a regular basis. I can for the most part, control it with just breathing and kind of taking some time to myself, and blocking the rest of the world out, and just trying to focus on what I need for my mental health.
Yeah, it's definitely understandable, because kidney disease is not only physically draining, but it can be mentally draining as well. And so I can completely understand the anxiety aspect. My situation was a little bit different, because I was in like immediate kidney failure. So I had to like accept it like immediately. And it was like, just, move on right then and there. And what was the next step to help me get better? But you talked about making some changes and things like that. And then you also talked about the kidney disease and some of the effects. What was the worst effect of kidney disease so far?
I think the main is the fatigue, the way it just drains your body, and there's just times where you're just tired. You're just exhausted. You may not have done anything, but your body just feels exhausted. And that's the hardest part for me, because I've always been a person that's on the go. I mean, like I said, I lost both my parents at a very young age. I lost my dad when I was 4, and I lost my mom when I was 14. So I've worked since I was 14 years old. Sometimes I worked 2 jobs. I was divorced at a very young age with 2 small children. I worked 2 jobs at times. I was the type of person that worked for what she needed, worked for what she wanted, and hates to ask for help. Absolutely hates to ask for help. I would rather work 3 or 4 jobs to do what I got to do than ask for help. And that's just how I was raised. And that's just what I always did. So when they tell you you can't work anymore, I'm sorry, but we're putting you on disability. You cannot work anymore, or we're going to try to put you on disability, because that was another fight within itself, trying to get disability. I had long-term
Yeah.
disability through my employer that I paid on for many years, thank God, because from being told from one day to the next, you can't work no more, getting Social Security disability was a joke. That was 3 years in the making before it actually happened. And that was hiring an attorney and going in to fight for it. And the attorney looking at the representative for the state and saying, she is on the verge of dialysis. Why are you guys denying this?
Yeah.
And instantly approved it.
Yeah.
I feel like they make people who are sick jump through hoops to get for what they need. And it's so frustrating to me. It's just because it messes with the mental aspect of everything as well, because you're dealing with coming to terms with needing an organ transplant, with not being able to work and
Yeah.
wondering how you're going to provide for your family, to having to
Yeah.
jump through hoops just to get insurance, just to get, Medicare,
Yeah.
Medicaid, whatever it
Yeah.
is that you need. When I
Yeah.
stopped working, I had to get an Obamacare plan.
Oh.
They denied my transplant 3 times. And I had to fight with them on the phone, physically fight with them. I said, so you're willing to pay for dialysis for the rest of my life, but you're not willing to pay for a transplant? I said, and they're like, well, you don't qualify because this. I said, okay, so tell me that. Tell me, this is why we are not approving it, and let's work together and let's get this fixed. Don't just tell me we're denying it. I said, I feel bad for people that don't know how to advocate for themselves, because like an elderly person that doesn't have anybody to speak up for them is going to get a letter in the mail saying it's denied. And they'll be like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just not going to get a transplant. They're not going to fight for it if they don't know how.
Yeah.
I worked in the medical field my whole career, so I
Right.
know how to advocate for myself. But I feel bad for people that don't.
Right. No, it's definitely tough. I remember, here in the state of Texas is a little bit different. Um, you can only make so much a month, and the cutoff is very low, and so you have to really, kind of push for it too. But I know there's a legislation that got passed. I think it was in 1972 that if you go into kidney failure and you need dialysis, you automatically are approved for Medicare. And
Yeah.
so that's where I went on, was the Medicare, because I was an immediate case,
Mm-hmm.
for dialysis. But I didn't have to deal with like a private insurance or anything like that, because I just immediately fell into Medicare. But all
And
that
because
stuff is
I was
so
never on
confusing.
dialysis, they kept denying me.
Yeah. All that stuff is so Medicaid covers, and just the whole shebang is just, it can be really confusing at some point, because one of it's federal and the other one is your state, and it can become really confusing if it takes you a while to learn it all, and figure it out. So
Yes, I
yeah.
agree. It does. And then so they approve my disability and my Medicare, but I don't qualify for Medicaid because I still make too much on disability. So then I have to pay out of pocket for private insurance for Blue Cross Blue Shield as my secondary coverage.
Yeah.
So it's just the whole and that's just the whole back end of everything. We're still dealing with the whole front end of it, with needing and trying to find a live donor.
Yeah. So you talked about the mental side and the anxiety side, and one of the things I think that helps with that is the support. So talk about a little bit of like, what types of support do you have? Are you a part of a support group, or do you have family and friends? What type of support do you have?
I have family and friends that are very, very supportive. I have my husband. We've been together almost 20 years. I have 2 grown children from my first marriage, and I have she'll be 4 on the 18th. I have a 4-year-old granddaughter. I have
Okay.
my best friends. I have my best friend that I've known for 20 some years, Kelly. I have my best friend Elena that I've known for since elementary school. We've been best friends. Kelly lives not far from me, probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes away. Elena, unfortunately, lives in another, she lives in Colorado, but I talk to her on a daily basis, and they're all just very, very supportive. They try to remind me that they don't let me give up, basically. They try to remind me that I have a lot to live for, I have a lot to fight for, and I have to just keep going and keep fighting the battle and keep fighting the fight, and eventually it'll happen. I've had 5 people get tested or try to get tested, and they get kicked out usually in the first or second phase of testing because something comes up that disqualifies them from being a donor. So
Yeah, that's kind
that's
of typical sometimes where people, test and then get canceled out, or some of them just drop off, where they either they lose interest or whatever, and then it sounds like it's, pretty typical from what I've heard in the search of a, living donor.
well, and I feel, and I do see that a lot, and I do understand that, and I feel like the process is so long
Yeah.
and so hard to go through, where
Yep.
I could see why people get, uninterested and don't want to do it anymore, or
Yeah.
if you're not hearing back from the hospital in a timely fashion, if you're not, and I get it. I've dealt with UNM Hospital here in Albuquerque. I've dealt with Presbyterian Hospital here in Albuquerque, and I've dealt with Mayo Clinic. And so far, out of those three, Presbyterian Hospital here in Albuquerque, I mean, I love the doctors at Mayo Clinic. Love, love, love the
Yeah.
doctors. However, the process is very slow, very, very
Yeah.
slow to get people tested.
Yeah.
Presbyterian has been amazing with getting people tested. UNM was a joke, which is why I moved to Presbyterian. I just couldn't get people that were interested. I couldn't get them to call them back. Um, Presbyterian Hospital, though, here in Albuquerque has been amazing, amazing, and the team there is amazing, and the doctors are great. It's just it's a long, long process, and anybody that even considers being tested, it's just like they're it's a special person that has that calling. Just like I say for nurses and teachers, you're a very special person to be born with that calling. And for somebody to want to give an organ to save somebody else's life is, it's amazing, and it's those people are just they're angels in my book, and I feel like the process needs to be streamlined a little better, I guess you could say, for these people, because when you're waiting 7, 8, 9, 10 months to get tested or to go through the testing process, I could see how people become uninterested. So I feel like there needs to be a way for them to be for that process to be streamlined.
Absolutely. It's pretty grueling. Some of the testing that they do, I know it lasts, throughout a couple of months, I think, at some points for some people. And
Mm-hmm.
it could be pretty lengthy. So, like you said, I could see where people lose interest at some point, where they get, frustrated or whatever, and then, they decide to move on for whatever reason. Or they get disqualified because they find out that they got another health issue that they didn't know about. And
I had
that
that
actually,
happen.
yeah, I had that happen too. And it was disappointing for me, but then again, I felt really bad because I was like, oh man, like, because the lady actually found out she had a heart condition, and she ended up having to have pacemaker put in.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and she actually told me later that I had saved her life by trying to be my donor. It actually helped save her life because she had an undiagnosed issue with her heart. So pretty crazy how that happened.
So a person that actually tried to get tested for me found out she had a heart condition also. I'm not exactly 100% sure what her heart condition was or what the outcome of everything was, but I mean, again, like you said, it's disappointing to us, but
Yeah,
then I feel like I'm happy that they found out when they did, because it could have been worse. It could have been worse for them later on down the road had they not. In my eyes, everything happens for a reason, and God led them to us to try to get tested for us so that they can find out what was wrong with them.
sure.
I mean, everything happens
Absolutely.
for a reason, and I'm a very big believer in prayer. I'm a huge believer in prayer. I go to church, go to Bible study. I'm just a very huge believer in prayer, and I think that is what helps me keep moving also and keep going, because like I said, it was hard at first accepting it. It took me a long time to accept it and to learn how to live with it,
Yeah. I
because
I'm a strong believer in faith as well, and I can tell you, you definitely need your faith when you go through and battle something like kidney disease. You really have to lean upon the Lord and prayer and your faith. It's definitely like we talked about. It's mentally draining, and so to have that in your life, to have your faith, it's definitely. And if any time in your life that you needed your faith is definitely when you're battling a chronic illness.
exactly, I agree
Yeah,
100%. Um,
yeah.
so like I was telling you earlier, I lost my dad when I was 4.
Wow.
My dad's family is from California, Mexico, all of that part of the country. My mom's family is from New Mexico, which is why I grew up here. I was born in Las Vegas, Nevada, but grew up here. Um, my mom lost contact with my dad's family probably when I want to say the last time I saw them, I was probably about 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
And then she lost contact with them. I never knew where my kidney disease stemmed from. I never knew why I had diabetes. I 100% blamed myself for not taking care of myself.
Yeah.
Um, and then back in 2018, people started requesting me on Facebook as a friend, family. All of my dad's family, slowly, I started meeting everybody through Facebook. We went to a family reunion in San Diego, and I found out that diabetes runs in my dad's side of the family. Kidney disease runs in my dad's side of the family. I had numerous of aunts, uncles, cousins that were on dialysis, had passed away from some sort of kidney failure, had kidney cancer removed. It all stemmed from there. And this whole time, I never knew. And I was like completely blaming myself for not taking care of myself. But I didn't know that that's where it had come from. So now, now I know. And I think that was a big part of helping me accept it, because now I know that it's not something that I mean, yes, I did cause a lot of it because I didn't take care of it. But regardless, I know that runs in the family. And I probably wouldn't have gotten it had I not, taken care of myself. I can't say, oh, I wouldn't have got it if I didn't take care of myself. It's all my fault. I can't say that anymore, because I know that it runs in the family, and it runs in my dad's side of the family. And that's initially where it's hereditary from.
Yeah. As everybody knows, type 2 diabetes and hypertension are the top two leading causes.
Yes.
kidney.
And I don't have hypertension, but I have low blood pressure. I'm the opposite.
If you're out there and you're watching this broad 2 diabetes, hypertension, definitely you want to keep that in check. Definitely want to go get lab work done and urine samples and all that stuff done, because those type of testing can save your life. Definitely, if you're a type 2 diabetic or hypertensive, for sure. I would definitely be going and getting checked out at least monthly. To make sure that everything's going good, because it's better for you to find out sooner than later. Let me tell you, because kidney disease
and
progresses.
if you know that it runs in your family, just make sure you're getting checked on a regular basis, because you want to catch it as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Also, you had mentioned about some diet changes and things like that. So why don't you talk about what type of diet changes you made, and what types of foods that you started eating?
So I do not do fast food at all anymore.
Yeah.
We went on a small road trip, and I packed apples, cucumbers, carrots, all of my fruits and veggies, strawberries. I packed all of that in a cooler and I took it with me, because I just can't do fast food. And my body is so used to the no fast food that if I do it, I'm a mess. My stomach is just, it pays me back for it. It's like, really, woman, do you not understand what this does to you? So I do not do any fast food at all. No, I was no red meat, but I have slowly introduced red meat back in very small doses, because that's about all I could take. And that's only because if we go out to eat, my husband and I will share a plate, because I don't eat very much anymore. So we'll share a plate, and he loves his steak. So I'll usually just get the veggies on the side and eat just a very small portion of his steak. And even that, the red meat really upsets my stomach. So I try to do chicken, turkey, salmon is probably about the only fish that I will do. I'm really not a fish person, but I do love salmon. And then just fresh veggies. I like to get the fresh veggies instead of the frozen veggies, and cook here at home. And I just feel like cooking at home is just a lot healthier, because you know what you're putting into it and you know what you're getting.
Yeah, because a lot of fast food places are full of sodium and GMOs, genetically modified organisms, and all that bad stuff, cholesterol, all of that stuff. And that's the type of eating that got me in trouble as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I ate.
Let me tell you, my speaking of cholesterol, my triglycerides, 1,400. My triglycerides were at 1,400.
Wow, how was you walking around?
Right? Right?
Wow.
1,400 my triglycerides were at. The last time she checked them, which I get checked, either my nephrologist I see every 6 weeks, and my endocrinologist I see every 3 months. But between the two of them, they're always checking everything. But the last time I saw my endocrinologist, which was in March, I'm looking at the calendar, it was in early March, and my A1C was 6.2, and my triglycerides were at 283.
Oh, that's a major improvement from 1,400. Oh my God.
Yeah, she's like, she goes, your triglycerides are kind of high. I'm like, do you remember where we started?
Yeah.
I'm like, do you really, are you forgetting where we started? And this is with no medication.
Yeah. So your body's still trying to just detox from all of that, because man, 1,400. That's amazing that your arteries just wasn't completely clogged.
This is with no medication. This is just with changing my eating habits and my lifestyle. Also, they tried to tell me that I had really bad fatty liver. Yeah. And they tried to tell me at a doctor here in Albuquerque that I was going to need a liver transplant on top of a kidney transplant.
Oh,
And I looked at her and I said, no, I don't accept that. I said, I forgive me. I know you're a medical professional, but I do not accept that. And I don't agree with your diagnosis. I said, I have an appointment at Mayo Clinic. Well, first off, it took me forever to even get them to see me. So in the process of waiting for my appointment from them for the results from all of my testing, I managed to get an appointment at Mayo Clinic because I'm already a standing patient there. So it didn't take me long to get an appointment. I still kept my appointment with them because I wanted to see what they had to say.
yeah.
So I went in and she's like, well, you're going to need this. You have cirrhosis of the liver, the non-alcoholic kind, but you're going to need a double transplant. And I said, what do you mean a double transplant? You're going to need a liver transplant on top of a kidney transplant. And I
Wow.
looked her straight in the eye and I said, no, I don't accept that. I said, forgive me. I know you're a medical professional, but I don't agree with your opinion. I said, I have an appointment at Mayo Clinic on Monday. That was on a Thursday. I said, on Monday. And
Wow.
I'm getting a second opinion. And she tells me, okay, do you want to schedule a follow-up? And I said, for what? So you
Yeah.
can, so I'm curious to hear what Mayo Clinic has to say. I'm like, no, I don't want to schedule a follow-up so you can bill my insurance again.
Right.
No, I'm good. Thank you. So I went to Mayo Clinic and they went over all of my testing. I had a liver biopsy. I had everything done here. And
Yeah.
I had the results sent to Mayo, and she was the doctor that reviewed them here. And he said, you don't have cirrhosis of the liver. You did not need a liver transplant. You have fatty liver.
Oh.
You're in
Oh,
the
wow.
process of losing. At that point, I think I was probably at about 48, 45, somewhere between 45 and 50 pounds of weight loss. He said, you just lost a ton of weight and you're still losing weight. You've completely changed your lifestyle. Your fatty liver is not going to get better in 2 months or 3 months. He told me it's probably going to take 2 to 3 years to get better
Yeah.
before we see results on your fatty liver. In 1 year, less than a year, I think it was like 10 and a half months, because he had me doing blood work for him every month when I did my transplant kit blood work.
Yeah.
He sent me an email and he said, your liver looks great. You do no longer have fatty liver.
I think sometimes the doctors forget that, when you're have an issue like that, that you spent a majority of your life destroying your liver, it's not going to get better within just a few, weeks or a couple months. So they need to keep that in mind that, you've done this for, 40 some odd years, or, however long you did it. I know my first 40 years of life, I ate how I wanted and did what I wanted, and it got me into kidney failure from my type 2 diabetes and hypertension. So, but the last like year and a half, I've made some major changes, and I can tell the difference in my lifestyle now, and the energy that I have and the way that I feel, especially after transplant, is night and day compared to the old Jonathan that ate nothing but fast food, pizza and burgers and all that junk all the time, versus now, the way I feel now. So it took a lifetime for me to wreck my body. And
Mm-hmm.
but it's taken a year and a half, and then plus a kidney transplant to feel like a normal functioning, healthy individual. So I think it's all a time thing. Timing is everything, as they say. So
Yeah, well, like you said, it took 40 plus years to get where you were. It's not
yeah,
going to cure overnight, and it's going to
right,
take time to get back to being a healthy person again.
right,
But again, that goes back to being able to advocate for yourself. Had I not being the person that I am, just accepted that, and probably would have given up on life thinking I was going to need a double transplant, and knowing how hard it is to even get one, I would have been like, well, how in the hell am I going to get two? Like,
yeah,
why even bother?
yeah.
If it's my time, it's my time.
Yeah, I mean, some people get them. Some people have like a kidney transplant, a kidney pancreas transplant, and some people, I've heard people, getting kidney, liver, but it's like, wow, I need a kidney, and that one seems impossible to find someone to donate to me unless I, maybe get a deceased donor. But and then you're telling me I need a liver too. Yeah, it's like a double whammy for sure.
Yeah. And even at that, I've been on the deceased donor list for almost 6 years, and I'm still here with no kidney, no deceased kidney, so it's just at that point, 2 years ago, they told me you need to find yourself a live donor. You need to start, you're good at advocating for yourself. You need to find a live donor. So we started our website. We started the Facebook page. We started t-shirts. My daughter made us t-shirts. We have magnets on our cars. Family has magnets on their cars. I have what tips?
Yeah.
I'll answer that in just a second, Kyle. I had business cards made.
Yeah.
Through Vistaprint. I had business everywhere we went. I handed business cards out to everybody. We would go out to eat. We'd pay our bill. We'd put a business card in. We went to Mayo Clinic in Arizona in October of last year.
Mm-hmm.
My husband needed cologne, so we went to Dillard's, and we went in through the door where the cologne is because we're in the middle of pandemic. I didn't want to be out and about, and went straight to the cologne counter, started talking to the girl as he's deciding what he's going to buy. And she's like, "What are you guys doing here?" Well, she said, "Are you guys from here?" And I said, "No, we're from Albuquerque." She goes, "Oh, I used to live in Albuquerque. What are you guys doing here?" And I told her, I'm here for Mayo Clinic, and I had to get my yearly exam, and I'm behind 6 months because of COVID, blah, blah, blah. And I gave her a business card.
Yeah.
Within an hour, I got a phone call from a young man. And the funny thing is, so I have a phone dedicated directly to my kidney campaign because I didn't want to put my personal phone number on business cards and car magnets and everything. So I got a specific phone just for that.
Okay.
And we stayed with my niece in Arizona because she lives close to Mayo Clinic. So we stayed with her, and we're getting ready to cook dinner, and the phone's ringing, and I'm like, everybody's looking at each other, and I'm like, someone's phone's ringing, and everybody's going, "It's not mine, it's not mine." And I'm like, "Oh, snap, is it the kidney phone?" Like, that phone never rings.
Yeah.
So I went and I answered it, and I was like, my niece still laughs at me because she said I was very skeptical when I answered it. I was like, hello?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hi, is this Lucy?" And I said, "Yeah, it is. How can I help you?" And he starts telling me who he is. And he was a 26-year-old kid who happened to be from Los Lunas, New Mexico, which is probably about an hour and a half from me. Maybe not even that long, maybe 45 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And his best friend was the girl at the Dillard's counter.
Okay.
And she went on her lunch break after we left, and she called him and told him my story and told him how she met me and how she just felt, this connection to me. And she told him my story because I told it to her. And he said, "Really? So send me a picture of that business card." And he said, "I've been thinking about it over the last couple of hours since I talked to her, and I just felt this calling towards you. And I feel like I need to get tested for you."
Wow.
So he tried to get tested, and he had some recent mental health issues, so they would not let him proceed.
Oh, yeah.
But
part of it.
Yeah. But honestly, I've probably handed out maybe 600 or 700 business cards. And out of all of that, I actually had one person that I got a lead on it.
Yeah.
You just never know. You never know where you're going to get a lead from.
You never know. And the thing is, that's the reason why I do these shows is you never know who may come across this broadcast. It's not about most of the time who's watching now, but who may come across this at a later date and watch it again. And you just never know who will see this video or maybe come across a flyer or see your car with a bumper sticker, or maybe you'll be at the store with a t-shirt on, or all of those things. I call them conversation starters.
Mm-hmm.
Something to start that conversation, get the conversation going. And it can be as simple as like I'm wearing a Donate Life bracelet. And I've actually at a restaurant, a waitress seen my bracelet and she was wearing the same bracelet. And she wanted to talk to me. And, I started telling her that I was a kidney transplant patient and all this. And I told her a little bit about my story. And just so happened, she was a PKD, polycystic kidney disease patient. And she had a lot of questions and things. So you just never know what'll start that conversation. So,
yeah, you're absolutely right. And I had like I said, we did the website, we did the phone specific to that, the business cards, the t-shirts, the car magnets. We were doing this all on our own. My family, my best friends, my daughter, all of us, just the family, we're doing this and trying to get the word out. And then I get a message on Facebook from a gentleman that went to high school with my husband. And I've met him before. My husband's taken me to Santa Fe to meet him before. And he has had 2 lung transplants.
Oh, wow.
And he knows, my mind just went blank, Brown.
Okay.
The Brown brothers?
Yeah, the Brown brothers.
Jared,
and Jeff.
And Jeff. He knows Jeff. I don't know why. Sorry, Jeff. If you're watching, I'm sorry. I forgot your name. So he knows Jeff. So he sent me a message and he said, listen, I have a friend that advocates for people that need transplants, that need specific kidney transplants. And I want you to get in contact with him and he's going to help advocate for you. So that's when I got in contact with Jeff. And then he makes all the little pictures for me and the videos and all the cool little things, and because I'm not that talented, and and then he got me in contact with his brother and I went on his show and did an interview with him, and he actually had Mark who had the lung transplants, who helped co-host with him, and he talked to both of us together. So that's a really good interview to watch if anybody's looking for an interview to watch, because Mark has an amazing story. He has an amazing story, and he is such a warrior that.
So it was on the
but
Warriors
that's how
Quest
I got
show.
Connected with everybody.
It was on the Warriors Quest show with Jared Brown?
Yes, it was on the Warriors Quest show.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, he's got a YouTube channel, so if anybody out there watching this and you want to go catch that, go over to the Warriors Quest show on YouTube, and it'll be there, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, Mark is so inspirational, and the way he talks about life now, having that second chance.
Yeah.
He's just like, if you're down, he will pull you back up, and he's been through it all. He's been through it all. I mean, not kidney, but he's been through it all. And it's really, really a good watch, because he has an amazing story.
Yeah, I love watching stories like that. They completely inspire you and motivate you. So
yeah,
so
I'm grateful to him. I'm so grateful to him every day for just connecting me with the right people, because since then I've been able to meet you, and now you advocate, and you've helped me with my Facebook page and advocating through there, and it's been great, and I love seeing everybody else's stories, and I keep everybody in my prayers. Kyle had a question about advocating. I'm sorry, I saw it. That's really okay. Briefly.
Sure, I'll find it. Here it is.
What tips for advocating for yourself do you give to others? I think the main thing is, don't let anybody discredit how you feel, because what you feel is valid. It may not be valid to them, but it's valid, because you're important, and you're the only one that can really express what is going on with yourself. So don't ever let anybody discredit how you feel. If you feel like you're not getting proper care, for instance, or you're just not. For me, I went through probably 3 different nephrologists before I found the right one. I went through probably 3 or 4 endocrinologists before I found the right one. I didn't settle. Don't settle. If you're not comfortable with the doctor, don't settle. Move on and find someone else, because you will find a connection with one. And you need to have that connection with that doctor, and you need to make sure that that doctor is willing to share all their medical notes with all your other doctors. And you want to build a team. I have my nephrologist, I have my endocrinologist, I have my primary care, I have my podiatrist, and I feel like I have, my doctors at the transplant centers. I feel I have this team that all communicates very well together.
Yeah.
But
most definitely.
It took me a while to get to that point.
Sure. Yeah, you definitely want to be comfortable with your doctors, and you never should have that feeling like you're stuck with a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You should always find one that you like their bedside manner, you like how they talk with you, explain things. And because I found out over the years that some doctors don't have the same bedside manner as the other doctors.
Exactly.
So it's good to find one that you can communicate with and learn from, and feel like that they have your best interest at hand, instead of just being another patient. So, but hey guys, I really appreciate Lucy coming on. I want you guys to please go over and check out Lucy's Facebook page. It's Lucy's Kidney Search on Facebook page. You can find out all of her information on there, the phone number to be able to contact Lucy. Obviously, that is, she's talked about that as a special phone number that you can contact her and get more information about wanting to be a possible donor. And again, it's Lucy's Kidney Search on Facebook. Also, she has a website, shareyourspare.net. Is that still active?
Yes.
The website? Okay. So, guys, you can definitely go over there, shareyourspare.net. Lucy, why don't you close out this interview with telling everybody what a kidney and how a kidney would change your life right now?
Having a new kidney would change my life to where I could be more myself, the old me, the happy me that, would go out and do things and didn't get tired all the time and didn't just have all the side effects that having kidney disease does to you. I want to be able to exercise better. I do a lot of exercise with my eating, but it's limited. I have to limit what I can do because I'm not a healthy person. I'm healthy to an extent, but I'm not a healthy person, so I can't fully exercise to my potential that I want to be at. I want to be here for my grandchildren. I want to see my grandchildren grow up. I just want to be able to live the second part of my life as healthy as possible. I've done and continue to do everything that I can do in my hands because I feel like if I'm asking somebody to give me an organ, I want them to know that I'm going to take care of that organ. I'm going to continue eating healthy. I'm going to continue exercising, and I'm not just going to, let the diabetes, because I'll always be diabetic no matter what I do, whether I'm on medication or not, it's always there. But I don't want to let that consume my life again. I don't want to let that take control again. And I want you to know that if you do decide to get tested and donate a kidney, that I am committed to taking care of myself and my body and taking care of that new kidney, because I want to live the second half of my life and just be happy and be here with my grandchildren and my family, my husband, my kids. It would be amazing, and I would appreciate that.
That's awesome. That's an awesome response to that question. I really appreciate it. Some people don't know how to answer that question, but you did a very good job. This has been a really great interview. It's been very informative, and I definitely appreciate you coming on and doing the show Hope with Jonathan and sharing your story, and I really appreciate it. And I definitely appreciate your patience as well. We had tried to get together before, but just some things were going on. We just couldn't make it. I couldn't make it work on my end. So I definitely apologize.
You're fine. No apology needed. It happens. I mean, life happens. What do we do? Life happens. We roll with the punches. I've definitely learned to roll with the punches. I did want to also say, I know you mentioned my phone number is out there, the website and everything, if anybody is interested, but I'm also available for people that, other warriors, if they're looking for somebody to talk to, or somebody that is going through the same similar situation that I'm going through and has questions, or just wants another fellow warrior to talk to, I'm also available for that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, yeah, guys, you heard it here first. She's offering some support and someone to talk to. So that's amazing. I really, really, really appreciate that. So, but guys, again, for more information, you can go over to her Facebook page, Lucy's Kidney Search. Also, she has a website at shareyourspare.net. And I've actually been on your website a couple of times and checked it out, and looks pretty good. So it's very informative and has the phone number there, her stories on there, lots of helpful information if you're interested at all in becoming her possible living donor. So we definitely appreciate everyone's support for Hope with Jonathan. Appreciate Lucy coming on, sharing her story. And again, guys, it's been another interview with Hope with Jonathan. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there, and remember to take care of your kidneys.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Lucy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all for watching.
Good night.
Good night.
Be strong.
Hey guys, go over to www.kidneywarriormerch.com. Submit your story today and get a shot at being the Warrior of the Month. If you're selected as the Warrior of the Month, you'll get a chance to interview with Hope with Jonathan podcast. Whether you're a kidney warrior, kidney dialysis patient, or even a kidney transplant patient, or maybe you've just been diagnosed with kidney disease, go over to www.kidneywarriormerch.com and submit your story today. Kidney Warrior Merch is a supporter of Hope with Jonathan podcast. Again, guys, that's www.kidneywarriormerch.com. KidneyTrails.com. Kidney Trails is an organization that is dedicated to helping those that may be facing kidney disease by education, inspiration, and motivation, by bringing real-life experience from those that have traveled the road of kidney disease, and also information from the medical professionals to help you on your journey. Guys, Kidney Trails offers blog writings from many different writers and authors who give an aspect and real life experiences with battling kidney disease, dialysis, transplant, and more. Guys, KidneyTrails.com has videos. They also offer a podcast called the Kidney Trails Podcast. And soon to be released, a comic book is coming out. Guys, for more information on this, go to www.kidneytrails.com. Hey guys, thanks again for tuning in to the Hope with Jonathan podcast. We really appreciate Lucy coming on and sharing her incredible story with battling kidney disease. Always an honor to share these warrior stories. Again, guys, for more information, you can go over to Lucy's Kidney Search over on Facebook. And again, you can go over to our website at www.hopewithjonathan.com. You can actually stream the podcast over there. You can find all of our social media. There's merch on there. And also, guys, you can actually stream our podcast over there. So I really appreciate it if you could go over there and check it out. Also, you can go over and like, follow, subscribe over at our YouTube channel. And if you're having trouble finding where to stream our podcast, you can definitely stream it over on our YouTube channel as well. So not only is there live interviews over there, but there's also audio podcast over there as well for you to enjoy. But again, guys, really appreciate all the support for the Hope with Jonathan podcast, Hope with Jonathan live show. And again, God bless you. Stay safe out there. Love on everybody. And remember, take care of your kidneys. God bless.